Attention coaches, swimmers, and officials. We will be beginning our time trial event momentarily. Men's 200-yard IM, Heat 1. Now swimming in lane 6 from WPI, Patrick Church, and in lane 7 from WPI, aided by Dominicano. Church in lane 6, putting up a 2:04.26. Domenico in lane 7, putting up a 2:07.57. Swimmers, please clear the pool. Men 100-yard butterfly, Heat 1. Now swimming from Norwich, Adrian Randall. And that concludes our time trial event for this afternoon. We will be beginning our diving session
Test.
Now I hear it.
at 12 o'clock. At this time, the competition pool is now closed.
Test.
Let me know if you can.
Good.
Hey! You need a place? Are you good? Sorry.
Test.
He's got way more letters on his back.
Test, test. Test, test, heading down to the diving well. Test, test. One more time, test, test.
Say test.
Test, test, test. Test, test.
Attention coaches and swimmers, at this time, the results are in for event 34, men 50-yard backstroke. Swimming in your A final, Josh Kelly, Zach Piper, Aravind Nazaries, Chris Capon, and Adrian Rando. The time is now 12:05. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch.
6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7.5. Val, 401, no, sorry. Sophia, 101B, 1.3. Judges Award. 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Val, 401B, 1.5. Judges Awards. 7.5. 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7. Riley, 103B, 1.7. Judges Awards. 7.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7. Liam, 101C, 1.2. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Eva, 101B, 1.3. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5. Katrina, 103B, 1.7. Judges Awards. 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 7. Michael, 101B, 1.3. Judges Awards. 5.5, 4.5, 5, 4.5, 5. Kira, 101A, 1.4. Judges Awards. 5, 4.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5. Joshua, 103C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Thomas, 103B, 1.7. Judges Awards. 7.5, 6, 7, 7, 7.5. Round 2, Gianna, 201B, 1.6. Judges Awards. 7.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5. Sophia, 201A, 1.7. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 6, 5, 5. Val, 103B, 1.7. awards 6.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5. Riley, 201B, 1.6. Judges awards 7, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6. Liam, 401C, 1.4. Judges awards 6, 5, 6, 6.5, 7. Ava, 401C, 1.4. Judges awards 5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6, 6. Katrina, 201A, 1.7.
Go, Katrina. Nice and tall.
Judges awards 6, 7.5, 6.5, 8, 8. Michael, 201A, 1.7. Judges awards 5, 5, 5, 5, 5.5. Kira, 201A, 1.7. Judges awards 5.5, 5, 5, 6, 6. Joshua, 201A, 1.7. Judges awards 5, 5, 6, 5.5, 6. Thomas, 301A, 1.8.
Stay tight.
Judges awards 7, 6, 6, 5.5, 6.5. Round 3, Gianna, 301B, 1.7. Judges awards 4.5, 4, 4.5, 3.5, 4. Sophia, 301C, 1.6. Judges awards 5, 4, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Val, 301A. Judges awards 6, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7. Riley, 401C, 1.4. Judges Awards. 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7. Liam, 202A, 1.7. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 6, 6, 6. Ava, 201B, 1.6. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5. Katrina, 301A, 1.8.
Go, Katrina.
Judges Awards. 6.5, 6, 7, 7, 7.5. Michael, 301C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5. Kira, 301C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4, 3.5, 5, 4.5. Joshua, how do I say it?
5211A.
5211A, 1.8. Sorry. Judges Awards. 4.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Thomas, 201A, 1.7. Okay.
Come on, Tom, nice and tight.
Judges Awards. 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Round 4. Gianna, 103B, 1.7. Judges Awards. 7, 7, 6.5, 6, 6. Sophia, 401B, 1.5. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 7, 6.5, 6. Val, 201A, 1.7.
Go, Val.
Judges Awards. 6, 6.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Riley, 301B, 1.7. Judges' awards. 7, 7, 7, 6.5, 6. Liam, 5211A, 1.8. Judges' awards. 4.5, 5, 5, 6, 6. Ava, 5221D, 1.7. Judges' awards.
Is it the wrong one? Huh?
Incorrect dive. Katrina, 401B, 1.5. Judges' awards. 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7. Michael, 401B, 1.5. Judges' awards. 6, 4.5, 4, 4, 4. Kira, 401B, 1.5. Judges' awards. 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 5. Joshua, 401C, 1.4. Judges' awards. 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5. Tom, 401B, 1.5.
Good, Tom. Good form, good control.
Judges' awards. 5.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Round 5, Gianna, 5122D, 1.9. Judges' awards. 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6, 6.5. Sophia, 5111A, 1.8. Judges Awards. 4.5, 5, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Val, 5223D, 2.3.
Let's go, Val.
Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 6, 5, 6. Riley, 5231D, 2.1. Judges Awards. 6.5, 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6. Liam, 301C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 4, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Ava, 301B, 1.7. Judges Awards. 4, 3.5, 4, 4, 4. Katrina, 5132D, 2.2.
Go, Katrina.
Judges Awards. 7, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6. Michael, 5211A, 1.8. Judges Awards. 5, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5. Kira, 5121D, 1.7. Judges Awards. 6, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Joshua, 302C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 4.5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Tom, 5231D, 2.1.
Got it, Tom. Chuck the dive.
Judges Awards. 6, 5, 5, 5, 5. Round 6, Gianna, 104C, 2.2. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5, 5.5. Sophia 102B 1.5. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5. Val 203C 2.0.
Got it, Val.
Judges Awards. 6, 5, 5.5, 5, 5. Riley 104C 2.2. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 7, 5.5, 6. Liam 103C 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6.5. Eva 103B 1.7. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4, 4, 4, 4.5. Katrina 104B 2.3. Judges Awards. 6, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6. Michael 103B 1.7. Judges Awards. 6, 7, 6, 6.5, 7. Kira 102B 1.5. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Joshua 301C 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 5, 6.5, 6.5. Tom 105B 2.6. Judges Awards. 6.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 6. Round 7, Gianna 302C 1.6. Judges Awards. 6, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6.5. Sophia 103B 1.7. Judges Awards. 5, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Val, 303C, 2.1. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 7, 6, 5.5. Riley, 204C, 2.2. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 6, 5, 4. Liam, 402C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5, 5.5. Eva, 402C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. Katrina, 105C, 2.4.
Go, Katrina. Patience.
Judges Awards. 6.5, 5, 6, 5.5, 5. Michael, 202B, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 4.5, 5, 5. Kira, 202A, 1.7. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 4.5, 5, 5. Joshua, 101B, 1.3. Judges Awards. 5, 6, 6, 6.5, 6. Tom, 303C, 2.1.
Nice and control, Tom. Easy.
Judges Awards. 6, 5, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Round 8. Gianna, 202A, 1.7. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 5.5. Sophia, 202C, 1.5. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 5, 6, 5. Val, 204C, 2.2.
Let's go, Val. Patience.
Judges Awards. 5, 4, 4.5, 4, 4. Riley, 403C, 2.2. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Liam, 403C, 2.2. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 5, 5, 6. Eva, 202A, 1.7. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Katrina, 203C, 2.0.
Go, Katrine.
Judges Awards. 6, 6, 6, 5.5, 6. Michael, 5231D, 2.1. Judges Awards.
It's crazy how he has to keep on telling them the rules. Like, no, that was.
4.5, 4, 3.5, 4, 4. Kira, 302C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 5.5, 6.5, 6. Joshua, 202B, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Tom, 5132D, 2.2.
You got it, Tom.
Judges Awards. 7, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 6. Round 9. Gianna, 5223D, 2.3. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Sophia, 302C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Val, 104C, 2.2.
Go, Val.
Judges Awards. 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5. Riley, 303C, 2.1. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4.5, 5, 4, 3.5. Liam, 203C, 2.0. Judges Awards. Three, 2.5, 2, 2.5, 2. Ava, 5222D, 1.9.
Just double clicking sometimes for no reason.
Judges Awards. 5, 4.5, 5.5, 5, 4.5. Katrina, 303C, 2.1. Judges Awards. 6.5, 6.5, 6, 7, 5.5. Michael, 302C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Kira, 402C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Joshua, 402C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 4, 4, 4, 5, 4.5. Tom, 203C, 2.0.
Nice and relaxed, Tom. Nice and easy.
Judges Awards. 5, 5.5, 5, 5, 5. Round 10, Gianna 402C 1.6. Judges' awards. 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Sophia 402C 1.6. Judges' awards. 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5. Val 403C 2.2. Judges' awards. 7, 6, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Riley 304C 2.3. Judges' awards. 6.5, 6, 6, 5.5, 5. Liam, 5231D, 2.1. Yeah. Liam, 5231D, 2.1.
That is a
He was just asking. He's like, isn't that a 2-3? She was like, no. He was like, no.
great. That's 1.5 somersaults for the half test. So
These people know what that is.
No.
Does anybody here know? What are we doing? This is kangaroo court.
one somersault, 1.5, so 5, 2, 2, 3D.
5, 2, 2, 3, look right in there. 2, 2, 3.
What is it? 5, 2, 2, 3D?
Yep, so re-announce it.
Let me write it. 5,
DD is
2, 2,
2.3.
3D.
Good catch.
Liam, 5223D, 2.1.
2.3.
2.3.
That's gonna explode.
Judges' awards. 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5. Ava, 5223D, 2.3. Judges Awards. 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Katrina, 403C, 2.2. Judges Awards. 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5, 7. Michael, 402C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 6. Kira, 5122D, 1.9. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5. Joshua, 102B, 1.5. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 4.5, 4, 5. Tom, 403B, 2.4.
Nice and easy, Tom.
Judges Awards. 6, 6, 5, 6, 6. Round 11, Gianna, 403C, 2.2. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Sophia, 5211A, 1.8. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5. Val, 5231D, 2.1.
Go, Val. Finish strong.
Judges Awards. 6, 5.5, 6, 5, 5.5. Riley, 5223D, 2.3. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 7, 6.5, 6.5. Liam, 302C, 1.6. Judges Awards. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4.5. Ava 302C 1.6. Judges Awards. 5, 4, 4.5, 4, 4. Katrina 5124D 2.3. Judges Awards. 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Michael 403C 2.2. Judges Awards. 4.5, 4.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Kira 103C 1.6. Judges Awards. 5.5, 5, 5, 6.5, 5.5. Joshua 5121D 1.7. Judges Awards. 5, 5.5, 5, 6, 5. Tom 405C 3.1.
Go, Tom. Patience. Go relax. You got it.
Judges Awards. 6, 4, 5, 5, 4.5. This includes Saturday prelims of diving.
Woo! All done.